Hello, this is Opinion Radar. Today, we're diving into a tool that has become a cornerstone in my workshop and on my job sites, the Sharpie Pro Permanent Marker. In a market flooded with options, it's easy to grab the cheapest pack you find, but that often leads to disappointment. That's why I'm taking a close look at this specific model, which promises enhanced durability and performance for demanding tasks. We'll explore its build, its ink's resilience in tough conditions, and whether the investment justifies the cost for professionals and serious DIYers alike. So, if you rely on a marker that won't let you down, stick around as we put the Sharpie Pro through its paces. All right, let's talk about the Sharpie Pro Permanent Marker. I've used a lot of markers over the years, but these are a step above. Right out of the box, you notice the flat, chunky shape. It feels solid in your hand, not flimsy. The ink flow is consistently dark and bold. I recently tested it on wet plywood during a project, and it left a clear, dark mark that didn't run. It doesn't dry as fast as a standard Sharpie on clean surfaces, but it's quick enough, and the permanence is impressive. The chisel tip gives you options: fine lines for detail work or a broad stroke for labeling. For the price, about $20 for 12 markers, it seems fair, especially considering how long they last. Whether you're a tradesperson or just need reliable markers for home use, these deliver solid functionality from the get-go. The practical uses for these markers are endless. As someone who handles packages and labels daily, I've found them perfect for cardboard. Unlike cheaper markers that squeak or bleed, the Sharpie Pro glides on smoothly, leaving a fade-resistant line that holds up even after rough handling. I've also used them in damp conditions like marking pipes in humid environments, and they perform without smearing. The flat design means they don't roll off my workbench, which is a small but welcome feature. For lab work or marking on wet surfaces like petri dishes, they're surprisingly effective. I submerged one in water and tried to wipe it off. No luck. Acetone can eventually remove it, but it takes effort, proving their durability. One of my favorites for everyday tasks, they've become a go-to in my toolkit. Of course, they're not without minor drawbacks. Some users mention the strong paint-like smell, and I'll admit it's noticeable at first. Opens up well though. On ultra-glossy or very wet surfaces, the ink might take a moment to set, but in my experience, it's rare. Durability is generally high, but a few reports of markers failing early are worth noting. However, customer service is responsive if issues arise. Price-wise, at around $2.50 per marker, it's not the cheapest, but for regular use, the value is there compared to buying multiple packs of cheaper ones. I've had mine for months, and they're still writing strong. If you need a marker for occasional home use, it might feel steep, but for consistent, heavy-duty work, it's worth every penny. I've put these markers through some serious tests. In a dusty renovation job, I dropped one from my tool belt onto concrete, and it kept writing without a hitch. The thick body is easy to grip, even with gloves on. When marking oily metal or wet wood, the ink stays put and dark. A coworker borrowed one, and was impressed by how smoothly it wrote on cardboard without damaging the surface like standard markers sometimes do. There was that one time I tried to erase a fresh mark from my sink with just a sponge. Nothing. Even after 10 seconds, I needed acetone to remove it, which really highlights its permanence. These aren't just markers, they're reliable tools for messy, real-world jobs. The pros, like fade resistance and versatility, far outweigh any quirks. Overall, the Sharpie Pro has become my permanent marker of choice. After using several packs, I can say they live up to the hype: dark, durable ink that works on almost any surface from wet plywood to cardboard. The chisel tip adds flexibility for different tasks. While the smell might bother some and the price is higher than basic markers, the longevity and performance make it a smart investment for anyone who relies on markers daily. I've switched from standard options and won't go back. If you're tired of markers that fail when you need the most, give these a try. For around $20, you get 12 reliable markers that'll last. Trust me, once you use them, you'll understand why they're a favorite among professionals. So, if you're ready to make a lasting impression on your projects, give the Sharpie Pro a shot. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe for more hands-on reviews that cut through the noise. Stay sharp out there.